Hey, this is Kelly from the Dolly Rocks.
This is Joe Queer from the Infamous Queers.
Hey, Sleepy P. Martini.
Hey, this is Indica Flower.
And you are listening to
Our Brains Hurt.
Our Brains Hurt.
Our Brains Hurt.
Losers.
Well, they needed a jingle for their stupid little show, so they called up the Jasons and we said, fuck no. Then they called us again and they gave us $20 and we wrote them a song that said, your podcast sucks. Then they gave us more money and they asked us really nice and we finally gave in and we said, all right, I'll write you a song, but it's gonna be a clone of a Screeching Weasel song that we heard a while ago. So we wrote them a jingle and it sounded really rad. It was the best little jingle that their podcast ever had, but the file got corrupted and the email didn't work. Now they're stuck without a jingle singing Our Brains Hurt. Our brains hurt, our brains hurt, our brains hurt. Our brains hurt, our brains hurt, our brains hurt. Our brains hurt, our brains hurt, our brains hurt. Our brains hurt, our brains hurt, our brains hurt. In a very non-copyright infringing sort of way.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Our Brains Hurts. This episode is brought to you by PunkBox. If you're looking for an awesome gift idea for yourself or for somebody else, head over to punkboxrocks.com. That's punkboxrocks.com. Sign up for their awesome monthly punk rock merch subscription service. Each month, a box of merch will be sent to your house. Stuff you would normally find at a merch table at a punk show. Things could include cassettes, CDs, vinyl, patches, buttons, pins, coffee, all sorts of cool shit. You never know what you're going to get. It's an awesome gift. Head over to punkboxrocks.com. This show is also brought to you by Merch Slut. Head over to merchslut.com for awesome band t-shirts, punk rock band t-shirts. Merch Slut gets her shirts directly from the band or the label. These are not cheap knockoffs. She also has a wide array of awesome punk rock merch. Merchslut.com. Also, don't forget, next month we have two shows coming up. August 30th at the Pie Shop in DC. Belvedere coming down from Canada, playing with Paperback Tragedy, Idle Minds, and Morals. That's Wednesday, August 30th at the Pie Shop. Go to pieshopdc.com for tickets. And September 2nd at DC9, Dolly Rots. We'll be here with Tsunami Bomb, Over Our Eyes, and Dead End Lane. So head over to DC9 and get your tickets for that. Two awesome shows, just a few days apart. All right, that's all for the business stuff. Now, let's get to the show. Look at this guy, Siamese cat. This is Siamese, right?
Yep.
That's awesome.
It's a little adorable motherfucker.
That's
Sir
awesome.
Strifinius Wigglebottom. Or Strife for short. Yeah. We have a cat now.
Hell yeah.
And he's a this let me tell you, this little dude is he's crazy. Yeah. He's gonna be a good cat, but
That's awesome.
this little motherfucker is crazy.
Hell yeah. We need more pet representation on Our Brains Hurt.
Yeah. I got watermelon and peach White Claws because those are the best two flavors, and they do sell them some places in 6-packs. And I meant to get myself a peach and 2 watermelons, and I got myself 3 watermelons.
Can't have that.
Oh, idiot.
You know, I had the first watermelon flavor thing that I didn't hate this weekend.
What was it?
You'll probably hate the thing because it's for 5-year-olds. I don't know why I bought like 3 bags of them, but they're inside out blow pop bubblegum balls.
I don't know what that means, but I like it.
It's a bubblegum ball with shards of lollipop in the middle of the bubblegum ball.
Oh man, the
I
kids
say shards, that makes it sound dangerous. Let's just say pieces of lollipop inside. So it's like an inside out blow pop.
They'll be picking splinters out of their gums for months. I hate you know what I normally love owls, but I hate that fucking Tootsie Pop owl.
Well, he's a dick, that's why.
He's such a dick.
Yeah.
God.
Owls seem like dicks.
I mean, they're pretty cool.
They're definitely like the smug asshole of the bird world.
I keep telling our new cat to stay away from owls because he's too tiny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tonight we were talking to TJ Kiss.
We are
Friend
again.
of the show. A return guest.
What's up, guys?
What up?
How's it going?
How are you?
Doing good. I'm a little tired. The baby is now almost 8-9 months old. I'm losing track of time, as you can see. But today is my second day of my week off from work, so that's why I'm glad I was able to get to come see you guys here today. Is this week a lot of time is going to be devoted back towards the filmmaking that probably I haven't been able to spend as much time on recently as I'd like to.
Nice.
Yeah, kids will do that.
Yeah, they will. That's for sure. That's for sure.
I have been enjoying your little. You post your TikTok shorts that you do on Instagram, and I have been enjoying
My little shorts. Yeah.
I have been. But the one about the Russian rocket hitting the moon was.
Oh,
great.
thank you. Yes. Yeah. That was funny. That was actually I only made that basically as a bet with my friend Phil, my co-writer Phil, because we were on the phone, and he was telling me about the story, and then we were just joking around, and I made that reference, like they're asking the Russians about like how do we know it's manned, and then he like makes a threatening comment back. He was like, "You should do that. That's what you should make. You should make a little short like that. It'll take you 3 minutes to make." And by the way, it took more than 3 minutes to make, which I complained to him about. I'm like, this is not a 3 minute thing. So, and I still wasn't totally happy with it, but come on. I mean, I can't spend months and months on everything. It's certainly not something that's going to be like 10 seconds long.
It had to take at least 3 minutes to get that mustache on. At least.
3 minutes to search the filters to find the right looking one. All of them were like handlebars or like 1930s mustache. I'm like, I'm just looking for a big bushy like Stalin-esque mustache, and that was the best one I could find.
A 1970s porn stash, if you will.
Hell yeah.
Potentially, yes,
Sure.
potentially. A little John Holmes action.
I'm going to share this momentous occasion with the two of you. I'm trying
Oh,
caramel pumpkin for the first time ever.
Oh, here we go.
you got it.
Stand by.
All right, we're waiting.
I don't like it.
Not a fan. He's not a fan.
It's
And
not
there was
bad.
there was careful consideration there. That was not. There was a moment. There was reflection. There was savoring.
Like, seriously, you don't like it?
It's not horrible.
It'll grow on you. It'll grow.
I'll
on you.
learn to like it, but it
Yeah.
hits really sweet at first.
Like a good.
You'll learn.
like a good-
You'll learn to like it for 5
Yeah.
more beers in the 6.
I'm not a quitter, so
Yeah.
Like a good Roman Catholic, you'll learn to like it.
So how's life, man?
Man, life is good. Things are moving along. So, Renters got into the Troma Dance Film Festival, so that's going to be playing there next Friday evening.
It's a good flick. It's a good flick.
And thank you. I think so. Director and
I
writer
enjoyed
was,
it.
was
I
kind
very
of
much
talented.
did. Yeah.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And then on Sunday, right after that, on the 3rd, at Pet Shop in Jersey City, I'm doing another screening of Renters and the 2 Necromance proof of concept shorts in another little fundraiser before we try and push forward and do some crowdfunding to really see where we can go as far as locations, because that's really what it's all about. Is I need to raise funds so I can get the proper locations. Like, ideally, most of this script takes place in a school, and it'd be great to have an actual like school to shoot at, so that I can do like 3 or 4 days, and then we can knock out 80% of the script, which would be fantastic. The other option is to do like rent a classroom and do classroom stuff there, rent a gym, and that's just, one, probably going to end up costing more money in the long run, and 2, really time consuming. And for somebody who's working with actors out of the goodness of their hearts, essentially, the less amount of days I need to get them to go somewhere, the better. So that's the hope. That's the plan. There are some decent locations that I saw in like Brooklyn, Queens, Jersey, Northern Jersey that would work. It all is going to depends on how successful the crowdfunding campaign goes when it finally gets launched.
Say that would probably be best like for the summer though, right? Like when school's out, it would probably be easier.
Well, no, these are like not in use schools.
Okay, gotcha.
Like they're basically used for, I guess, just kind of this kind of stuff. Like on like Gigster and stuff like that is where I found them. So
Gotcha,
that would be better because it'd be a much more, easier. So there'll be a lot of stuff already there that I wouldn't have to worry about, like decorations and stuff like that. But whatever, that's a different animal to tackle. That's something, once we get to location, then we figure out how to put stuff in there. We got to take it one step at a time.
wow, what was it that you emailed me about or no texted me about with it's renters and the two necromancy? I think you just mentioned it. It's at a
Yeah.
like a
That's it.
premiere or whatever. It's like
So it's like a little screening basically where we're gonna show the the probably the three best things I've done overall quality level, which was Renters and the two Necroman shorts. And obviously the Necroman shorts are important because that's really what it's all about right now, is trying to make that feature. But also Renters, I mean, I hate to toot my own horn, but I haven't. Everybody who's seen it, and whether they're all just lying to me or not, which is fine and very nice if they are. But everybody seems to find it really enjoyable to watch. So it's going to be an interesting experience because in Jersey City, it's going to. I don't think many people are going to make the trip from Long Island to there. So it's really going to be about who, like, really just people who don't know me. So it'll be a real raw reaction, which is equal parts exciting and scary as hell. But I'm pretty. I feel good. I feel good going in there. I always, even when I like watch these things in front of people I've known for a long time, I'm shitting myself and wondering, like, are they going to like any of this? And I'm like, yeah, I already know that most people do. I've seen it in front of a room with, people who don't know me and they liked it. So I need to maybe get over that, but maybe I never will. Who knows? Maybe that's part of the driving force in making good quality content is the fact that you actually never think it's good.
I think that is a driving force, actually. They say people are their own worst critics, right? Like that is.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah. Well, dude, I like Renters. It's entertaining. Like it's super entertaining. Like you have a good little premise there, and the Necromancer shorts on top of that, that you've done are really great too. Like I like your premise there. I'm really really stoked to see whatever your ideas for the future film for that are, because I
me too.
dig those shorts. They're awesome.
Me too. I'm really excited that I was able to get that band that I was telling you about, Platinum Moon. That they're going to let me basically use all of their music, whatever I want, in the film, which is fantastic. I'm trying to put them in the film too, because there's a scene that takes place at a house party, and I'm like, I already know the song of yours I want to use for it. Why don't you guys play as the band at the house party? And one of my friends was telling me, he was like, well, like high schools, like people don't have live bands at high school parties. I'm like, well, they do in fucking movies, man. Have you ever seen a high school movie? Like that's not even all that bad what I'm doing. So that was also a good way to like kind of, give them a little something, since, I have, as I've mentioned many times, nothing really to offer them other than a very, very thankful, email. So to put them in it is something that is intriguing to them too as well, I think. So hopefully that works out scheduling wise, because that would be pretty cool. I already have the whole scene and everything in my head. I already know how it looks, all that good stuff. So now it's just time to actually make it happen.
This is why I love the world of independent filmmaking, because like you can bring a lot of other worlds together because everybody loves movies. Everybody, like,
yeah.
Who do you know that's like, movies? I hate movies. That's stupid. Like nobody says that. Nobody, literally. You may even come across a person now and then who's like, oh, I don't like music. That may happen, but nobody says I don't like movies at all. Nobody.
I even think people who tell you they don't like music, they're full of it. I mean,
they probably.
Well, they drive around in the car, like, listen. I mean, look, I listen to a lot of sports talk radio, but sometimes, I got to listen to some music when I'm in the car too. Like, people just drive around listening to local talk radio all the time. Like, I don't think so. I don't think that's possible. There are a lot of crazy people out there, so maybe there are some.
But like movies, when you're making independent film very specifically, like you can bring all these genre of people together. Because like, hey, you're an artist. Would you like to, have some of your paintings on the wall in this scene in my movie? Mm-hmm. Hey, you're a band. Would you like to play the house party at this? Like, hey, you're a carpenter. Like, I could really use this thing built for my movie. Hey, there's just so many different aspects of movie making that bring like so much shit together, especially in independent films. Like, because you get the people who are just kind of passionate about, oh, I'd really like to do that, and they're just kind of passionate about it. And it always ends up making for like something very interesting. At least if the person at the head of it is like creative enough to like understand, I don't know, some sort of artistry. And that's why I love watching people's shit like yours, man. And
Thank
I
you.
say that with
Yeah.
all due respect. Like it's
Thank
fucking,
you.
it's great. Like Renters is great. God, it's such a great little like independent, horror. It's not a short. I don't know. It's like a mid-range. Like I don't know. What,
It's a
yeah,
it's a short film. It's more than a short. It's not like a 5 or 6 minute thing, but it's not a 2-hour feature length. It's right in there in the middle. It's a nice little short film that, like you said, like I agree. I think it's really very enjoyable. I tried to make it as enjoyable as I could from beginning to end. Try to blend comedy, horror, thriller all together so that it's coherent. Also, that it's not just a jumbled mess of genres. A meat lover's pizza, if you will. But
I gotta throw a shout out to some of your buddies who acted in that too. They're on point.
Yeah, I say it every time I'm on one of these things. Somebody mentions any of them. I'm incredibly lucky that all these talented people will work with me. Just because they like what I write, they like what I produce, and they want to get their name out there just as much as I do. And I love working with these people again and again because, knowing more about them, and then also just you get more investment from them when you're working with people more. You're building that relationship, and it's really fun to do that. Now, it's amazing. Now, when I went to see a premiere of a film called It's Love, Bro, that a director, George Massimillo, I met at the film festival Renters got into here on Long Island. And I've gone to some of these little events and seen a lot of the same people. And I went to that thing and it was like everybody I have met and worked with and over the last 2 years, all coming together for one of us who's like really made something spectacular. And so it's a really cool experience. And it's kind of like I'm sitting there watching it, I'm looking around and I'm like, a couple years. And then I'm going to be the one standing up there, and we're going to be showing necromance and all that. It really it's like a driving force again of like, that's another guy just pretty much just like me, who's been just pushing to get his vision out there and tell a story he wants to tell. And he's done it, and they're doing extremely well. And he's worked with star of his film was Matt Ventre from Renters, who gets his head crushed by Carol when he gets pushed off the deck. So he was a star of that. So it's like all this crossover. It's really, really cool, and meeting all these different people.
Some of the greatest stuff about art, even outside of the independent film world, you get to hang out with fucking cool people. I've I've met so many rad people in I don't even the art industry, I guess. Can you even call it that? And all together, music, film.
Yeah, if you're creating something, it's art.
Yeah.
If it's nothing and all of a sudden there's something when you're done, guess what? You're an artist, man. That's art.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you get to meet some of the raddest people if you venture out of the box and into that world for a while.
Yeah, you got to be willing to risk. I mean, look how I met you guys was a cold me sliding into your DMs on Twitter. That's how it happened. And then we connected.
Actually, And what was it?
I was looking for local bands. I needed a songs for Renters.
Yeah, was it specifically because of my band?
I think so. I looked up like local punk or local Long Island punk bands or something like that, and for some reason you showed up. I think because you're got family in Long Island. I don't remember how it all worked out, but you showed up and I just messaged you guys and you messaged me back.
I think, actually, remembering back now, I think we had recently played at the Shillelagh Tavern in Queens.
Oh, so maybe that's why it just pulled you in the algorithm.
So our name popped up. Yeah,
your way.
Yeah, totally from Virginia, but I think that has to be what it was. Now thinking back,
who cares? It was very fortunate for me because it's been really great. Not only did you guys let me use your music, this is the third time you had me on. I mean, this is it's been really awesome.
It's cool for us too because punk rock's about I mean, the heart of it, DIY is like a big,
Mhm.
a big thing in the punk rock world. I mean, it's a big thing in the independent world for any sort of artist genre, but I think kind of punkers kind of made DIY famous. So anybody who's about passionately doing something DIY when it's not about the money, becomes very alluring in the underground to punk rockers. And some people think that when you start to get past that and you have success and start bringing in money, that you're done and you're soulless. I disagree with that sentiment. But something still is alluring to the bottom floor of where everybody meets with, I'm doing this for the love of it and not even getting paid to do it. There's I still like to exist in that world.
Yeah. I always say it's funny
You know?
they say that about money. It's like I kind of feel like if you have a soul without the money, you'll have it with, and vice versa. If you have no soul without the money, you're still not going to have a soul. Now, this is somebody who's got no money, so maybe it'll change if I get money and my soul will dissipate. But
Well, it's a testament
to
to
think
oneself, Like it really is. Like it's a test. Who knows what you're gonna do when you get there? If you ever do.
As my wife says, when, because you got to manifest it.
Yeah.
She is right about that. It's not going to just happen. You got to think it. You got to believe it. All that. All that stuff. The negativity is never helpful. It does no good.
The secret.
It is.
You remember that? The thing they spent, I think, probably like $2 million making, that everybody knows already. Maybe you don't. Maybe that's why you bought The Secret. But if you bought The Secret, I'll tell you right now, you're never going to know the secret, because the secret's easy. It's just do it. Nike figured it out way before anybody else did. Yeah.
That's
just
true.
Do it. Just do it. Oh, Ron, you're silent. Your lips are moving and I don't hear words coming out of your mouth. Nope, I don't hear.
Oh, yeah, no. I was thinking he was quiet too.
Yeah, I was thinking he was quiet too. I was like, man, Ron hasn't talked in a while. But he's not Ronnie Shakes anymore. Now he's silent.
He must have thought we were like being real dicks, like not responding if he was saying stuff this whole time.
Yeah, fuck what you say, Ron. We don't care. I don't know if this has ever happened before.
How about now?
Oh, there you are.
All right.
Boom, look at that.
Action.
Kids, always turn the microphone on.
That's very helpful.
How did it get turned off?
I have no idea. I said a couple things. I was like, man, I guess I didn't hear what I was. Anyway. Anywho.
Well, sorry about that.
No, it's all good.
Ronnie Shakes.
Since nothing was heard, I don't have to cut anything out. So it was all perfect.
Fair point.
Yeah, what I was going to say, like, I love having a friend on the show because I don't have to do any research ahead of time. It's just I just drink and talk. So I appreciate that. We have you on today and we have Oz on Thursday, two friends of the show that I could just kind of like,
Oh, it's like a relaxing week.
Yeah. So
also he has me, because when I'm interested in something, Ron doesn't have to research it because I already know.
That's
everything.
right.
I was gonna say, is that why he has to drink? Because he's got you on there. Is that why he has to drink?
No, it's give and take.
It's give and take.
Give and take.
Yeah.
On the nights when I'm like,
all good relationships are give and take.
That's right.
On the nights when I'm like, I have done no homework, Ron always talks more than I do, so it's great.
That's how we work together. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right. I'm drinking pumpkin beers. This is the last episode that will air in the month of August. September is the beginning of spooky season. To me, everybody else, if they don't agree with that, they can go fuck themselves.
I agree.
Right. So I want to do a horror movie Mount Rushmore for the three of us.
Okay.
What is your horror movie Mount Rushmore? It has to be a movie, not a series of movies, not like, Friday the 13th. It has to be a specific Friday the 13th.
Right.
So if you were to give your 5, and you get 5 because you get a crazy horse, we always do the crazy horse. So you get 5 movies.
Yeah, it's fair. It's fair.
Yeah. What 5 movies would be on your Mount Rushmore of horror movies?
Yeah.
You can take your time. I mean, I can go first if you want, because I've kind of been thinking about it. So
yeah, that would actually be helpful.
Okay.
I would appreciate that, because this is a biggie. This is a big question.
This is a big.
This is up there with will you marry me? That's
I think I got question. Yeah, I think I got 3 already. Since
All right,
Ron
I'll start
said
us
it,
off.
I think I
So,
got 3.
for me, the first Halloween, the original Halloween, I think it's the best slasher movie of all time.
It's a good one.
I'm putting that up
That's for
there. My favorite movie of all time, not just horror movie, people who listen to the show know, is The Exorcist. I'm putting The Exorcist on there.
Ron really likes it when she pukes,
Oh yeah,
especially when
Yeah.
her head spins like a.
it kind of gets me off. But
Yeah, it's one to throw in the beatbox.
the beatbox.
You taught me that.
That's right. Hell
Yeah.
yeah, the beatbox.
You
gotta
learn
have a
things on
beatbox.
OBH. You do.
Yeah,
Humanitarian things.
the beatbox is where you store images that you could use later on for
Beats, if you will.
beating. Anyway,
I'm unofficially well versed in the beatbox.
okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
It's called other things, but
It-
you know,
It doesn't have a lock on it.
when you call it throwing a beat, it just fits with the beatbox.
Mhm.
Anyway,
I'm familiar with a term that rhymes with bank.
okay, there you go. Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Third one, I'm going the original Night of the Living Dead.
Solid
And-
choice. That is a solid choice.
Number 4, I'm going Nosferatu.
Also a classic.
So I got Halloween, The Exorcist, Night of the Living Dead, Nosferatu. And for my crazy horse, I am going with my probably second favorite movie of all time, American Werewolf in London.
Mm.
Love that movie.
Ron's
Fucking
stealing
love
the classics on this one.
Sorry.
Yeah, he took.
That's
yeah.
okay. That's okay.
Well, I wanted to give you guys time to think.
I love
So-
all of those movies.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
of
me
them.
too.
All of them, but I don't think any of them are on my Mount Rushmore.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So that's mine. So whoever wants to go next.
You still thinking, TJ, or you want to
Yeah,
start?
yeah,
this?
Matt, you go.
Okay.
I need another minute. I got 3 right now. One of them's been mentioned, but we'll get there.
Okay, well, the two of these movies are in a trilogy, but they're both on this list, and that would be maybe my all-time the all-time best horror comedy, Army of
Mhm.
Darkness.
Yeah,
doesn't- That's where it ends and it begins. Like,
Mhm.
you're never going to get better than that movie. And the second one is going to be Evil Dead 2, because that is just a spectacular, for the amount of money they spent on that movie, that is just a
Mhm.
spectacular endeavor. And that really started horror comedy, was Evil Dead 2, because half of that movie is horror and half of it's horror comedy, and that everybody was like, holy shit, you can do this. I don't know how much it existed before that movie existed.
I just rewatched all 3 of those like a
Yeah.
month ago.
Nice.
Yeah, I made Red's, my girlfriend, her 11-year-old daughter's like super into horror movies, and I sat her down and made her watch Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness back to back with me. Yeah.
I did that with the 6-month-old, but my wife, she
Yeah.
she had a little bit more of a problem
You
with
know,
it than probably your
whatever.
girlfriend did, but
Yeah.
They're gonna learn at some point.
it's part of growing up in this house is going to be a little bit of appreciation
Yeah.
for her,
Yeah.
whether mom likes it or not. Just
Yeah.
don't tell her when you get older. All right, just keep it down. Oh, sorry, keep going, Matt.
All right, the third movie on this list is probably going to be one that nobody expects, but it is the best, in my opinion, the best horror movie made in the last 20 years.
Mm.
So basically, since the turn of the century, it is the absolute best horror movie made. It's called The Descent,
Ah, that's a good movie, man.
because the fear in that movie is one that could potentially be legitimate, and it is also a fucked up creature.
Mhm.
Have you ever seen it, TJ?
No, I did not.
Oh, it's really
Yeah,
good.
you should watch The Descent. I think 2008 or 2009.
There's
maybe?
a couple of them now, right? Isn't there?
Yeah, the second one is more a traditional new school horror movie, and
Okay.
it's not that great, but it continues the story, and it's okay. But the first one is
Oh,
a
it's
master.
so good.
It's a
So good.
masterpiece.
Yeah.
It is because it combines horror movie with a creature that could potentially actually exist, also with claustrophobia, because
Which I have close
because you're inside caves the whole entire movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a fucking masterpiece, and it's gory. Like, yeah, it's a
Mhm.
fucking masterpiece.
I'm glad you mentioned that one because my wife and I watched it fairly recently and we're like, this is
That's
This is one of the scariest movies we've ever seen.
It is a
ever.
masterpiece.
Yeah,
It really,
really.
really is a masterpiece. I don't understand why more people don't talk about it. A lot of people hate it because of the same reasons I'm talking about.
Why?
And I'm like, because they're so terrified, claustrophobia.
But that should make it good, though.
Right. But claustrophobia is not good to anybody who has claustrophobia.
Yeah.
I've been in a claustrophobic situation before, and I didn't think I had claustrophobic. But then once, like,
Oh yeah, it's horrible.
it's terrifying.
This is for Matt, by the way. Warlock. There we go.
That is the best pumpkin stout. Period.
Okay.
There is not a better one. It's got the best name too.
Yeah.
That's the beer. I said this on the last episode. That's the beer that made me like pumpkin beers.
It's a really good one.
It is. For anybody who doesn't like pumpkin beers, that's the one. If you like stouts, that's the beer to try.
Yeah.
That's the guy.
That's the guy. That's the guy. Yeah. Okay, so there's those three. And man, I really don't want to put this movie on this list. For all time, I don't know if I can put this movie on this list. I really, really enjoyed it. It's a newer horror movie, and a lot of people like it. But I'm like really into the shit that is in this movie. I don't want to put this movie on this, but everything in my being is telling me to put this movie on my all-time favorite horror movie list. And that's that somewhat recent one, Hereditary.
Oh, I knew you were going to say that. Fuck yeah. That is
everything about that movie is like shit that I'm into.
You should feel no shame for putting that on your list. That is a good fucking movie.
Like, I don't want to say why, because it just completely ruins the movie for anybody who hasn't seen it.
Have you seen it, TJ?
No, so don't say anything.
Man.
I was going to tell you.
You got some homework, man.
Yeah,
I do. That's fine. Listen, when it comes to new stuff, I've got a lot of homework to do just across the board in all genres.
It's another spectacular, especially if you're into the occult.
Okay.
It's spectacular. It is. I don't want to put this movie on my list because it's so new, but
it has one of the most disturbing scenes I've ever seen in a movie.
Late, you talking about the late, like right towards the end of the movie?
No, that one's disturbing too. I'm talking about when the dude is laying in bed and hears the mother.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Don't say
that.
Anymore.
Is.
I don't want to give spoilers for that. It was a truly fantastic movie, and I'm an old school horror fan. Like all the movies that Ron said, like I want to put those movies on this list, but there's movies that I like more, that I watch more, being the ones that I just said. So that's 4 right there. So Army of Darkness, Evil Dead 2, The Descent, Hereditary. God, Hereditary is so fucking good. And you're talking to a guy. Well, I'm talking to you guys. You're listening to a guy right now who has like militantly watched every single Amityville horror movie that's ever been made, even though most of them fucking suck and should never be watched. Like, I've watched them all. I love everything about Amityville and the original story. Yeah. I love old school fucking horror. I love all this Friday the 13th. I love, I grew up in the 80s. I'm gonna throw out another just rando that pops in my head immediately. Just random fucking movie that probably shouldn't be on anybody's list of best horror movies of all time, but I'm gonna do it because it's what pops into my head, and it's super obscure. It's the remake of the fucking Toolbox Murders that they made in like 2006 or something, or 2004 or whenever it was.
I never saw it.
The Toolbox Murders was a movie that was made back in the
I remember talking about this
60s, maybe 50s.
Yeah.
But the remake of it that was, I want to say it was either 2004 or 2006, it's fucking incredible. It's an incredible remake. And when I saw it, I didn't even know that it was a fucking remake. I learned about the original movie because of the remake. And then I went back and watched the original and I was like, oh, wow, this is really bad.
I've never
But-
seen either of them, so I'll
but
have
it's
to go-
great at the same
No,
time. Yeah.
there's now 3 movies that are now on my soon to watch
Mhm.
list. A good thing I'm off this week and I might have a
There you
little
go.
bit of time.
I got to look up, see if I'm right about either 2004 or 2006. It could have been previous. That it could be 2002. I hate it when I second guess myself about years when shit came out, and I didn't watch my original thing. Will be fucking right.
And you'll be wasting your time thinking. All
Yeah,
right,
but this-
so
It's a great flick. Now, okay, the original was 1978. It wasn't the 60s.
50s originally, I think.
The remake was 2004.
All right,
Okay.
there you go.
Yeah,
Your
yeah.
second guess was the right guess this time.
Yeah.
Okay, so this
All right,
is
TJ.
this is tough. All right, so the first one, and some people say it's not really horror, but my love for Kubrick, so The Shining is going to make an appearance
Oh, hell
because,
yeah.
in my opinion, it is horror, and that's the greatest director. So I have to put that one on there. You mentioned the original Halloween, and you said it's your favorite slasher of all time. That's I feel the exact same way. It's like perfect. It's like basically a perfect slasher film.
It is.
Every step of the way. It's just it's amazing, and so that's got to be on there.
Sorry, the Jasons. Anyway, keep going.
Yeah.
No, we're not.
Fuck you. I mean, fuck you, the Jasons.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that the Jasons, just in case we ever get a chance to work together on something. I'm not gonna say that until after I get you on something for free, and then I'll say fuck you, the
No,
Jasons.
they would prefer for you to say
The fact that you
All
are
right, so
saying
fuck
I'm
the
not saying
Jasons.
fuck you is going to make them not want to work with you.
All right, so the third one. So I've got to choose one of the original Friday the 13th because Freddy is probably next to like Michael Myers, my favorite horror movie character. And I love the premise of the fact that he gets you in your dreams. I mean, there's really no more of an unsafe place. And my favorite one of those, which I haven't seen these in a long time, but Dream Catchers, the third one. I don't know, something about it taking place in, the hospital setting and all that stuff. And it just, I don't know. That's one of those ones that was harder when I was younger to go back and rewatch because it scared me more than the other ones. Now you mentioned I'm going to have to rewatch this now, probably. Now I have four movies to watch this week, but that's fine. That's fine. So that's going to be that one. So what is that? Is that now 3, right?
You got 2 more.
So you mentioned one about the realism to the fear in The Descent that you were talking about.
It's so real.
So I think I may have mentioned this on another previous episode that I was on, but it's this film from Australia called Wolf Creek.
Yeah, dude, good movie.
Yeah, and
movie.
again the same thing, like very realistic. I mean, you can make that about like anywhere in the United States too, like but there's also the guy who plays the killer in that is fantastic. But
good movie, man.
That
Good
really
choice.
freaks me out because again,
Is that a werewolf movie?
No, that's like
It's not. Okay.
kid's car break down in the middle of the outback, and this guy comes to like save them, and then it's he just starts taking them out. Essentially, it's kind of very torture pornish, that kind of style. So that's 4, and then my wild card, and because it's going to be the wild card is going to be Shaun of the Dead, without a question,
so
because
good.
that's
So good.
That's actually the film that sort of brought me back into the fold with horror, because what did that come out in, like 2008, I think?
It sounds about right. Yeah.
Or 2000, something like that. So I didn't watch a lot of horror movies from like the late 90s into the, a lot of the 2000s, because a lot of it just wasn't real appealing. I wasn't a big fan of like Final Destination and stuff like that, because I don't know.
They were
the whole
fun,
premise of like it's just a bunch of it's just a bunch of cool kills. The kills are awesome. Don't get me wrong, but the rest of it is just like
that's it.
Like what? Like like I can suspend a lot of disbelief, but like that's just following these people around. I mean, I don't know. I did think they tied it all together good with the last one, where the last film ends at the beginning of the first one. I'm like, that's a good way to close it out. So But Shaun of the Dead came around, and that perfect blend of comedy and horror. Obviously, I mean, it appeals to me big time because those are my two favorite genres, so that immediately pulls me in. But just Edgar Wright's style, the writing, the directing, the acting. So yeah, that's got to be the last on my Mount Rushmore for sure.
Yeah, nice. That's cool. We all had like I consider American Werewolf in London kind of like a horror comedy, and there's
Yeah, kind of.
yeah, we all kind of had that horror comedy thing going on at some point. But
well, they go so
yeah,
well
man.
together.
They do. If you could laugh and be scared, those are two great emotions,
Yeah.
to pull out of people, and
And play them off of each other is
Yeah.
even the better the part.
Yeah, totally.
Which is like, and again, it's the Evil Dead movies do that as well as they were. It's freaking you out and completely, and then the next thing you know, you're pissing your pants laughing, and you're like, what is going on right now?
Have you seen the new Evil Dead Rise?
I haven't seen the second one. I saw the first. So I was watching them sort of in a little succession. So I watched
like the one that
Evil
just
Dead
came out.
Not even. I didn't watch Evil Dead Rise yet. I watched Evil Dead, the first remake that came out a few years ago,
2013.
And then yeah. So
They don't have
10
anything.
years ago.
They don't have anything to do with one another. But the one that just came out, you need to watch it.
All right.
It is.
It's on Max. It stares at me all the time. Every time I open up that app.
Yes, it is. That's how it is.
At me.
Really, really good. Be prepared though for it coming from a guy who loves horror movies and loves gory movies. Be prepared for some gore. Like it's like Dead Alive.
Yeah.
Type. Yeah, like be prepared. All
right.
The actress who plays the mother in the movie is out fucking standing.
Do you know who she is?
Not off the top of my head. Not off the top of my head. She's been in some things. I could look her up, but wow. Watch that movie immediately. Maybe before the other ones that I just told you about, even though they're all my faves. Right. Like the new Evil Dead, coming from a guy who is an Evil Dead purist, they did a really good job. Like really
all right.
Good job.
That will be the first one I watch.
Fucking fan. And Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell handpicked everyone that had to do with anything in that movie.
I did know that. I did know that. Well, that's very cool.
Yeah, it is very cool. And it turned out really well. Like I am excited to see the sequel because there's gonna be one.
All right. I will watch it. I will let you know my thoughts immediately after I check it out.
Please do. Please do.
I will.
What are your go-to werewolf movies?
Oh,
I mean, for me, it's American Werewolf in London. I already said that, but
that's a given. Outside of that movie, because that's going to be everybody's go-to. Yeah. It's the best werewolf movie of all time. Let's just say hands down. Like,
some people don't agree with that, but
it's like asking people who their favorite metal band is. You have to be like, besides Slayer, it's not Slayer. Like outside of Slayer,
that's a tough one.
I think I could tell you mine.
Teen Wolf was rad, dude. I love Teen Wolf.
Only the first one, not two.
Yeah, the first one.
Two I liked when I was a kid, and then I rewatched it when I was like, 16, 17. I'm like, this is garbage. I can't believe I like this. What else? I'm trying to think of like what other. I mean, there was the Wolfman with Benicio del Toro, and that was
he's my man crush, Benicio del Toro. Love
he's
Benicio,
awesome. Yeah, he's great. I was just watching the thing on the movie Snatch earlier, and they were saying that the scene in the beginning of Snatch when Del Toro comes in with the other guys and rob the jewelry store, Guy Ritchie spent like 10 minutes explaining to him what do you want to do, and then Benicio was like, okay, and then they called action, and he just did completely different whatever the hell he wanted. He just did. I'm like, oh, that's Benicio.
Such a good movie. Such a good movie. Yeah.
Oh, classic. Yeah, it's amazing. Werewolf was that not a lot of great. I mean, the original Wolfman, which I saw when I was like 10. But
I think I'm going to add another movie to your list here because I doubt either of you have seen this movie. But have either of you, by chance, seen Dog Soldiers?
No.
Sounds familiar, but no.
It's a I think it's either British
Wait,
or
we've
Irish.
talked about this on one of these
Yeah.
episodes before. With
I
who?
think with the Jasons, maybe.
Okay.
But yeah, Dog
Fuck you,
Soldiers.
Jasons.
Yeah, yeah. There you go. Now they want to work. with you.
Always. You got it.
Yeah. But yeah, Dog Soldiers is an insanely good werewolf movie. The special effects in that movie are fucking top notch. Like it's all practical. There isn't a lick of CGI in it, and it is incredible.
Mm.
Like I don't
When did
know
this come
how.
out?
2008. That off the top of my head. Let's see if I'm correct.
All right.
Let's see if I'm correct. It may have been.
I saw The
earlier.
Howling only a few years ago for the first time.
2002.
Done too.
I was
Okay.
wrong. But it is incredible. Like, man, I just type Dog Soldiers into Google and it says like 2002 film and click on images.
Okay.
Yeah. It's outstanding. Oh fuck. I forgot about a horror movie. I think I have to replace a horror movie on my list.
Do it.
I'm gonna replace it with the one that I said I
Oh
didn't want.
shit!
Yeah. You see what
I
I'm
just saw
talking
the
about?
pictures. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Dog Soldiers is dope. The
right,
movie
let's-
that I said I didn't want to put on my list.
The Descent.
No, Hereditary.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm taking that off because this
Okay.
is like an all-time list. It's
Yeah.
it's a newer. It was 2018, I think. It is incredible. It's up. I talked about it for a reason, but no, the movie I'm replacing it with is from 2006, and it's called Altered, and it's the same director as the Blair Witch Project.
Hmm.
Eduardo Cruz, who has done a bunch of different movies. It's not a found footage movie. Not all his movies are found footage movies. As a matter of fact, the Blair Witch Project is his only found footage movie.
Great movie.
Altered, the entire movie, aside from maybe like 10 minutes, takes place in a house. And it's about a bunch of dudes who had been abducted by aliens at one point in their life. And the aliens came back, and so they went to take matters into their own hands and captured one and drug it back to this house.
Wow.
And then they
I
have
remember.
it, like- yeah.
I didn't see. I remember this, but I didn't see it.
They
And I
duct
remember,
tape it
I
up.
remember the. I just saw the cover. I looked it up. I
Yeah.
remember the cover.
And they
But also,
have
it
it.
sounds kind of like Dreamcatcher a little bit.
Yeah, but it's a little similar, but man, the creature in this movie, when you finally get a glimpse of it, is like one of the most gnarliest. Like the effects, the practical effects in this movie are just out fucking standing. And I when I say Dog Soldiers and I say look up pictures of Dog Soldiers, looking up pictures of Dog Soldiers is not going to ruin the movie for you
Mhm.
because you're going to get a
Altered
lot.
will.
You're going to
so
get a
I'm
lot.
not going to do it.
You're going to get a lot of it, so it's not going to ruin
All
the
right.
movie. But if you want to watch Altered, don't Google image Altered the movie from, and then look up images before you watch the movie, because seeing the creature before you watch that movie is going to ruin the movie for you, because the
Okay.
whole movie is like a build up to seeing the creature.
Chew it.
Yeah. And it is an anxiety filled wild ride, and I'm putting that on my list over Hereditary. Hereditary's off.
Gotcha.
Altered is on.
Sorry, Hereditary.
Oh, great! Altered is such a good fucking movie, because the first 70% of the movie is just like a hostage movie almost.
Hmm.
You have people in a house arguing about taking a being hostage,
Interesting.
and it's great. Yeah, and then yeah,
All right, it's on the
Yeah.
list. It's on.
yeah.
I'm gonna send you some homework next week. Please
Please do. I would love.
Yeah.
No, new and interesting movies, especially like movies that have really good budgets but aren't well known. Those are my favorite.
Mhm.
Like recently watched this movie called Bloody Hell. So good. So fucking good.
Bloody hell.
Another horror comedy. I could go on and on about it.
Have you seen Slaughterhouse Rules?
Oh, I've
I
heard.
haven't seen that,
I,
but I've heard
That was
about it.
very good.
I think I've
It's
seen the
got
trailer.
Simon
for it.
Pegg and Nick Frost. It's not
Oh yeah, yes. I
not
know
an Edgar
exactly,
Wright
yeah.
movie, but it's got some Edgar Wright vibes to it for sure. But that was really good. I really enjoyed that.
I watched the trailer for it. I need to watch that. Yeah,
Yeah, that was good. That's a good one.
yeah. I'm
The,
all, anything with those
Yeah,
dudes.
totally.
You know?
The toughest movie question I've ever been asked in my life has been, "What is your favorite Tim Burton movie?"
Mm.
Because I love Tim Burton movies, and it's really hard for me to kind of pick one. But do you guys know what your favorite Tim Burton movie would be?
I like.
Yeah,
this
I
question.
do,
All
and
right.
it's apropos because it's Pee-wee's Big Adventure
Nice.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
All right.
And it's
Paul
definitely
Rubin.
more on top of my head because Paul Rubens just died, obviously. So
Yeah.
I've been watching a lot of clips and stuff like that and thinking about it. But that movie, I mean, so much a part of my childhood, and it's probably the first Tim Burton movie I ever saw.
Yeah. Same.
If I'm really thinking about it, and that's not to take anything away. I mean, I even love like Big Fish and stuff like that, which some people don't like all that much. But yeah, it's got to be Big Adventure. Gotta be.
I know mine too, Ron.
What is it?
Beetlejuice.
Okay.
Yeah, see, like that's like it's really hard to pass
Yeah.
Beetlejuice
So-
up, but
Yeah.
All three of us have different answers to this because mine is the
Interesting.
first Batman.
Oh, that's a good one. I
Any
mean,
one of
second one's
these could
good
all
too.
go.
Like they're both so good.
I love Beetlejuice. I love Pee-wee's Big Adventure. I love obviously
I see him back there. I see them all.
yeah.
Is Beetlejuice a horror movie? Because if it is,
I would
then
say it's.
that's
I don't
on
know.
my
That's
I
a
would
list.
say it's
question.
more in line with like Shaun of the Dead, where it's a comedy movie with horror elements built
Yeah.
into it, as opposed to the other way around.
Yeah.
Because that's on my
But-
list if it is a horror movie. But I didn't.
Oh, dude,
I don't consider
you're
that
not
really a
Rushmore.
horror
It's
movie.
got all kinds. You guys are never gonna stop working on that.
I know.
Yeah, it's a constant changing thing.
Yeah. I just remember as a kid, the first Batman blew me away. And it was just,
It was good.
Yeah, me too.
you know.
It was really good.
Yeah.
That was like one of the first albums I had was the soundtrack.
Yeah.
I couldn't stop
Dude.
listening.
One of the best soundtracks ever. Fucking Prince. Like, come on. Yeah.
And then the
So good.
second album came out, and we got Seal.
No, that was Forever. That was the Val Kilmer Batman.
Oh, was that the,
Oh,
third
yeah,
one? That
that
was
was-
the third
yeah,
one?
yeah,
Yeah, my
yeah.
bad. All right.
Burton was out
Yeah,
at that
sorry.
point. As Schumacher
Yeah.
came.
That,
in.
ew, gross.
Yeah. The first
Yeah,
two
Bat
were rad.
Nichols.
Yeah.
Yeah, first two were great. The second one is
So
awesome.
good. Yeah.
Also, yeah,
But it's so dark,
unbelievably
people.
good.
Like it if you watch it now, I like they're both really, really good. But like
Mhm.
I don't know, DeVito, Walken. I mean, it's
Oh,
so
yeah.
like think
Yeah.
about the villains that
Iconic.
Burton had in his
Yeah.
two.
Totally.
I think they're all perfectly cast.
DeVito
Like,
was ridiculous as
perfectly
the
cast.
penguin. It's so good.
Oh my
It's so
god!
good.
Could not have possibly found a better person to play the.
No.
There's
play
no
the
way.
penguin.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
And-
he's the only human being on
Pfeiffer.
the planet that can.
Yeah.
Yes, Pfeiffer was an unbelievable Catwoman.
Mhm.
Walken again was great as Max Shreck. Nicholson and even Keaton. Like
Yeah.
I wasn't
Oh,
old
he's my
enough
Batman.
to know this,
He's
but
my
I learned
Batman.
that. Yeah, me too, man. Like
He's
everybody-
everybody's
like, back
Batman.
then.
Yeah.
Back then, it was like people were losing their minds that they're gonna make Mr. Mom Batman. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But
Yeah,
it's
I
like,
know.
Yeah,
and
fucking Mr.
It's-
Mom, great movie.
it's funny because like when Ben Affleck played Batman, and say whatever you want, good or bad,
Mhm.
like people before any of those movies came out, they thought because of his like chin line that
Mhm.
he would be a great Batman, like the looks wise. And
Right.
I actually think his Bruce Wayne was really, really good, was better
Mhm.
than his Batman. And vice versa, people thought the same thing, that Keaton would be like, okay, Bruce Wayne, but how's he going to be
Right.
Batman? Like, I actually think his Batman is the best. And his Bruce
Yeah.
Wayne, I think, is like not great. Like,
Yeah.
not to take away, but comparing it, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's funny how that works out.
Yeah.
Have either of you guys seen the most recent Batman? Like the
I did,
Batman?
yeah. With
I
Pattinson,
I
yeah.
watched it
No, I haven't.
last
seen
night for the first time, actually.
What did you think?
It's all right. Like Robert Pattinson did a pretty fucking good job as like I don't know if I've ever considered an actor who's played Batman to be a good Bruce Wayne. Like a lot of them have been really good as Batman, but most of them have been really terrible as Bruce Wayne. I don't know if I've ever I don't know. I feel like Robert Pattinson is the first actor where I've been like, oh wow, he played Bruce Wayne really well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a really good actor. That guy.
He really is a good actor.
Who's
Like,
the best
the
Joker?
whole- What's that?
There are parts of that
Who's
movie.
the best Joker?
Ooh.
It's Ledger
That's a
by
loaded
like
question.
It is.
by like a nose hair. It's Ledger. Yeah.
Nose hair to who?
To
I
Nicholson.
can't. Oh, to Nicholson. I can't
about,
comment on this
Joaquin?
because I haven't seen Joker.
Oh, you haven't.
No.
I completely forgot about him because
I haven't
all I'm
seen
thinking
it.
about is the other
So
two.
that's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Really?
That's great
Oh my
too.
God,
That's
it's so
great
good.
too. Yeah, I saw that opening night that came out. That was great.
Wait, new Joker? That's what you're talking
Yeah.
Yeah,
about?
Joker. Yeah,
Yeah.
with Joaquin Phoenix.
I haven't seen it. I gotta watch it.
You got to watch it. He's
Yeah,
amazing.
Yeah, it's
in it.
great, dude. It's really great. He's unbelievable. I mean, he's another one. He's just an unbelievable.
Yeah.
Name a bad role that guy had. Like not possible.
Never.
Yeah.
Nothing. There's no.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
good.
now
Yeah.
that's even a harder question because I
Yeah.
wasn't even considering him because it just wasn't on the top of my
Right.
mind.
Yeah.
Because him and Ledger, it's probably. I hate to say that. It's
Ledger
probably
was
between him and
ridiculous.
Ledger.
He was so good as. I mean, it's hard to like not pick Nicholson because it's my favorite.
That's the classic. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but Ledger was so fucking good, man.
I think Robert
Here's how you
Pattinson
solve
might
it.
be the
Here's how you
best
solve it.
Batman.
You say Mark Hamill. Mark Hamill was my favorite Joker. That's how you solve the argument.
I'm with you. 100% I'm with you. He is the best Joker. He is.
And Kevin Conroy was the best Batman. That's how you end all these conversations. Ultimately, that is how they all end. Is somebody that's the only thing people can agree on. If you say those names, everybody's like, all right.
Live action though. I think Robert Pattinson might be the best Batman. I don't think that's the best Batman movie, but I think Pattinson. I think he nailed it.
Yeah, I mean, he did a great job. He did a great job. I mean, it's a really good movie.
Dude, Robert Pattinson did a really, really fucking
so
good
this
job.
is called the Batman.
The Batman. It's a long fucking movie too. Like long. Like
And
it's
it just
like
came out last year. You said
couple years ago.
A couple
years ago.
back,
I think 2020.
COVID delayed it.
2010. Yeah. Yeah, it was done before COVID.
There's some parts in that movie that you're just like, why did they?
Paul Dano was great.
Put this shit in the movie. Yeah, Paul Dano plays the Riddler and is also spectacular.
Yeah, he's really good. He's really great.
But he's like spectacular in everything he does.
That's another one. Yeah. There's a lot of really good actors, but he's amazing. You ever seen the movie he was in with John Cusack, where they both play the guy from the Beach Boys, Brian?
Brian Wilson.
Yeah, Brian Wilson. Yeah. Oh
no, I haven't seen that movie, but I know what you're talking about now that you're.
Yeah, it's very, very good, very interesting. I didn't know what had happened with Brian Wilson later on in his life until I saw that.
Yeah,
there's some weird shit there.
What happened with Brian Wilson? He kind of like.
Well, he was always pretty out.
He was
there.
like abused or something, and
well, basically, like sort of like I guess maybe compares like a Britney Spears type situation where he was basically like being controlled, control. I think it was the same sort of arrangement.
Yeah.
Where basically his whole life was being controlled by like this psychiatrist or something like that, and he was real.
That's wild.
That's what Cusack's playing in that movie. Yeah. So I had no clue any of that stuff was going on until that movie came out.
Wow.
Worth the watch.
Interesting.
That was a Redbox rental right there.
Redbox. That's classic.
Well, is it classic? Damn. That's classic now?
Yeah, it is. There's one near my house, and that's the only one. There used to be one at every 7-Eleven. Now
you guys still have you still have a Redbox up there?
There's one at the 7-Eleven.
All ours are
way to work.
Yeah.
Really? Oh, all ours are gone down here. They've been gone.
See, when I used to close every Monday, and I would have off on like Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So like Monday nights at like 1 a.m., I would stop at 7-Eleven to pick up beer, and I go to Redbox and rent like 2-3 movies to watch over the next couple of days. Pre-streaming. This is pre-streaming, kids. This is when streaming was very much in its infancy, and you need to have a wall of DVDs to be able to survive.
Fucking Blockbuster, man.
Shit, yeah.
Yeah, Blockbuster.
I feel like this movie isn't on my favorite horror movies list or my Mount Rushmore, but just before.
So the Mount Rushmore is intact for now.
Yeah, it's intact, but I got to give a shout out to a movie that I watched a lot as a kid. A horror movie. It's not on the favorite of all times, but it's great and I love it. Critters.
Yeah,
I've never seen Critters.
Tremors. Tremors is
Tremors
one
I've
of
seen.
those.
Tremors is
Yeah,
great.
Tremors, yeah, but Critters.
Yep.
Ron, Ron, you got to watch
I
Critters.
gotta watch it.
It's not going to make any sense. In the 80s, you just think about like if I was watching this in the 80s, this movie would be pretty cool. But
Yeah.
watching it
It's
nowadays,
definitely it is a coke-filled 80s movie project.
It is,
That's the
yeah.
thing. Yeah.
I don't know if it's pretty cool nowadays, but
None of us picked Alien or any of the Alien movies.
I didn't. Yeah, well, it didn't even cross my mind if any of them.
I mean, are they horror?
I think
I would
so.
say so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I consider them like
Sci-fi?
yes, the
Sci-fi
first-
horror. You want to call it sci-fi horror?
The first one, I maybe is horror, but after that, it's all sci-fi.
Yeah.
Because like
It's
James
easy.
Cameron made Aliens, and that's not just like a great like sci-fi or horror flick or whatever you want to get. That's just a fucking great movie. Like
yeah.
a brutally great movie. God, oh man. And Michael Biehn in his prime, sign me up.
You got to watch Joker,
Gremlins.
Matt. Oh, Gremlins.
Yeah, I
is one
do.
of the
I
best.
know. I don't know why I haven't watched this movie yet. I just haven't.
Gremlins is so good. That's
Gremlins?
one of Matt's favorite movie of all time. One of right or
Gremlins?
Ghostbusters. Yeah.
Gremlins and Ghostbusters. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
both in my top 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you consider Gremlins a horror movie? I don't know.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
for
then
sure.
Yeah. Little
Oh.
creatures that kill people. Of course. Yeah.
It's
All right,
horror
Well,
comedy.
shit. Then I
comedy,
really
however
shit
you
the
wanna
bed
call
on
it.
my Mount Rushmore. Yes, because Gremlins
Yeah.
is there.
Well,
So
it was a
good.
very hard question. It was meant to be a very difficult question.
Yeah.
It really
All right,
is.
well,
I mean,
Well, Toolbox Murders is out then,
And now that's
Gremlins is
out.
in.
all right, get those guys
Whatever,
back up
but-
there.
Everybody
They
should
just
watch
got
all
down to
these
base
movies.
camp. They just got back down to base camp and finished chiseling
Yeah.
Toolbox up there. And Matt says, "Nope, get your ass back up there.
But
Got to make some
still-
changes."
But
Yeah.
still, everybody go watch the remake of the Toolbox Murders from 2004 because it's a really great horror movie. Really,
Yeah.
like really is.
All right.
I started. I got. We had a guest on a couple weeks ago, Missy Blue. She's a tattoo artist, and I went on. When was that? Yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. I started getting my Descendants sleeve.
Oh shit!
done
Uh,
up.
Nuh-uh. Look at you.
I got 2 more appointments though, so it's only like 1/3 of the way done. But she had this like big wall of like all of her flash that she did. And she has Gremlins flash, and it was really cool. One of them was like the dog tied up in like Christmas lights. Remember that scene?
Mhm.
I think I might get that tattooed on me at some point. I fucking love Gremlins, man.
Please do.
So good. Yeah.
One of my favorite moments in that is when the new Gremlins, the bad Gremlins before they're actual Gremlins, they're still little furry hairballs, and they're playing like an arcade game, but it's like those mini versions they had in the 80s.
Yeah.
So because I had 2 of those.
I
at my
had
house.
the
used to play them all the time.
Pac-Man one.
I had Frogger, and then I
Okay.
had something else. I don't remember what the other
Yeah,
one
I
was,
had
but I remember
Pac-Man.
seeing that. I'm like, oh my god, it's amazing.
So
And
good.
even though that's such a great thought to have, to like see one of those and be like, oh, to have one of
Yeah.
these little guys playing this thing.
Yeah, we were like I say this all the time on this podcast. Like people who were born in the 70s and 80s are far superior to every other human being on the planet. I don't give a fuck what you think about me for saying that. Like, because we were like We
Yeah.
understood what it was like to have to go outside and play, but we still have the internet and all the good shit that we have now. And we had movies when movies were fucking originals still, and not just remakes of fucking old shit. Like Gremlins and that shit's crazy. Like we got to experience all that weird fucking shit. Like,
Mhm.
and it just doesn't go on anymore. It just doesn't happen. And
No.
Yeah.
No, it does not. So that's why
fuck
it's
everyone
really yeah, exactly. Here. So yeah, there's not a lot of original stuff that comes out. And it's been like that for like a long time.
Yeah, at least over a decade, at least.
And it's I don't know, maybe right now with like the writer strike and the actor strike, that's going to push more towards indie stuff becoming more of a driving force in the industry, which knock on wood for somebody like me, that'd be fantastic. If people started looking a little bit deeper, or in my case, like super deep for more talent. But you know, that's where the original material is coming from, is from that sector, because movies cost so much to make over there in big budget, and they just, they don't want to lose the money. So it's about making sure that enough people are going to come in on the first weekend or first 2 weekends that you're going to make enough back that it's worth it to even make it, as opposed to make it something because you want to make something that's really good.
Right.
And then if you make something really good, guess what happens? People go and see it and buy it, and then you can make money off.
Yep.
Crazy thought, but
yeah, correct. Insane.
Yeah.
Since we were talking about Gremlins, remember the Gremlins 2?
Yep.
Yeah, it's weird.
I love that movie too. I don't.
Yeah, but it's one of my favorite memes of all time. It's the chick gremlin. Remember? Yeah, one of the makeup or whatever. But it became a meme where it's like
I do her.
Yeah, where it's like
story.
her and a picture of Yoda, and it's like, young I was, needed the money I did. That's like one of the best clean jokes of all time at this point. It's a meme about Yoda and Gremlins 2.
remember the Leprechaun franchise? Those were always.
I never saw any of those.
For Aniston movie.
Nope, never saw any of them.
Oh man, dude. Yeah, you definitely for sure you got to see the first one, and then you got to see In the Hood, Leprechaun in the Hood, or Back to the Hood, or something. Forget what it's called.
Yeah.
Leprechaun Back to the Hood. There's
Back
two
to the Hood. Yeah.
There's 2 of them.
There's 2 of them. That's right.
Yeah.
There is. That's why I'm getting them confused.
No, it's all right.
Yeah, those are great.
Because the first it was Leprechaun 2, Leprechaun 3, and I believe Leprechaun 4 was Leprechaun in the Hood. And then there's Leprechaun 5, which is something else. And then I think Leprechaun 6 is Back to the Hood, but I could, just off the top of my head, I could be confusing that with Leprechaun 7, which could also be Back to the Hood. Number 6 could be the one where they went to space.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. There is a space leprechaun.
But also number 7 could be the one where they went to
That
space.
could be. Who knows?
Yeah.
And I do believe there was an 8th one as well.
Speaking of
There's
the
probably
Hood,
remake coming out soon. Did you see that there's the Toxic Avenger reboot is coming?
Nice.
And a screenshot, a shadowed screenshot,
Looks
but a screenshot
sick.
indeed was shared. Yes.
I heard about Peter Dinklage like 3 years ago that they were going to remake this with him on there from
so wait,
somebody.
Peter Dinklage is the Toxic Avenger?
Peter Dinklage is in the movie.
So he
I
could
believe
be
he's-
the new Toxic Avenger.
I'm pretty sure he is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is.
This is amazing. Is Trauma making it?
I don't think Troma's making it. I think they gave the rights to it.
License essentially. They
but-
licensed
Yeah.
it out. Yeah.
I believe so. I don't want to speak because I don't really know
They would have had
at all.
They
But-
had to have, yeah. You can't just steal the Toxic Avenger. That shit is classic.
It's gonna be good. I'm gonna see it no matter what, and I'll probably like it no matter what because it's Toxic Avenger reboot. Like whoever thought that was gonna happen, nobody ever.
The
But
Toxic
even though we're
Avenger
talking about
Part 2.
How
is
much we
where
hate
it's
the
at.
remakes. this is, I don't know, this is kind of different because this is trauma. This is, taking, I don't know, it's almost like kind of like been in the making for the last 50 years at trauma, that they're going to get like a real big budget movie made from their biggest star, biggest franchise, the Toxic Avenger. It's pretty fucking cool. It's pretty cool for them.
No, I'm ready.
Yeah, me too. I want to see it. It's showing. I think it's premiering in Austin, Texas, at Austin Film Festival. I forget the name of it. But
For anybody listening to this right now, if you've never seen the Toxic Avenger or the Toxic Avenger Part 2 or the Toxic Avenger Part 3 or really any of the trauma movies from that genre, but those 3 movies in particular, please go watch them.
I got introduced to the Toxic Avenger through I think it was Toxie's Crusaders, which is a cartoon that they had when it was on the late 80s when I was a kid. And I remember having the toys and stuff like that. And that's how I first found out about the Toxic Avenger. And then eventually I saw it on like, Channel 11 or something like that on TV. The actual movie. But yeah, that's how I remember first meeting Toxie.
They were great back in the day. If you could catch wind of any of the Toxic Avengers on television, which you could from time to time in the 80s and 90s, you definitely could. It was a good catch, and you always watched it. Always.
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It's classic.
Yeah.
It's classic.
Classic.
All right. Well, we chatted for like an hour and 15 minutes. TJ, let us know what you got going on and where we can find you and all that good shit.
All right, so still KIGB Productions on Instagram is going to be your best spot to find anything going on with the filmmaking. It's all about necromancy right now. That's the main focus. That's the project that we're pushing for. I mentioned just real quick, so Donna Morales, who was Carol in Renters, one of the 2 killers, so she's going to be in this. I'm trying to get Alex again to play a small role in this, but I have some new talent that I have not really worked with. So Vanessa Randazzo is playing Birdie now. Courtney O'Tora is playing her best friend Jane. Things are really coming together with casting and stuff, so it's getting really excited to do some readings and everything like that. I'll have everybody posted on when we have our crowdfunding and when that's going to be rolling out and how they can help contribute to try and make Necromancy into, my first feature film and something that everybody will hopefully enjoy and can be successful. So keep a lookout for that. And that's pretty much it.
Awesome.
You have a YouTube channel too, correct?
Oh yeah. Kiss It Goodbye Productions is my YouTube channel as well. Where you can see all of my stuff aside from Renters, aside from Locked, because those are only streaming on the Trauma Now app, along with Door Death, my first ever short to get any sort of notoriety or anything like that. So still Trauma Now, obviously, where to see a lot of my stuff. And then my YouTube channel or my Instagram will have just about everything else. And September 3rd, well, this is going to air after then. So hopefully September 3rd went awesome by the time this airs.
Yeah. Well, this will come out this Sunday.
Oh, okay. So September 3rd in Jersey City at Pet Shop, you can come and see the 2 Necroman shorts, see Renters. Talk to me if you want. If you don't, I get it. Hopefully you can help contribute to trying to make the Necromancy feature there as well.
Hell yeah. Go see this shit on September 3rd. Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah.
Please do. Yeah, it'll be fun.
I wish I could fucking come.
I believe you said you were playing the night before or that night or something like that.
Show the night before.
We have a show the night before. Yeah, we have a big show in DC.
Listen, I get it, man. I hope you guys kill it. I mean, I'm sure you will, obviously.
Well, it's the Dolly Rots tsunami bomb over our eyes and Dead End Lane. So I mean, it's not us. We're just we're throwing it, but it's gonna be a fun.
Oh, so you're like working.
Yeah, we're promoters.
Not the fun kind of work. You got MCing.
Yeah,
it'll be fun because we'll be drunk. But
there you go.
Yeah, we get to drink while we're doing it.
Alcohol makes everything fun.
I've noticed that seems to be a tie-in for you guys. Oh, we got to do something. All right, I'm gonna drink.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers, fellas.
Awesome. Thanks so much, TJ. And I can't wait to have you on again to just bullshit about movies. I love it.
Oh, yeah. I love it, guys. Thanks so much for having me on. This is always a great time.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Take care.
All right. Have a good one, guys. Talk to you soon.
All right. Later.
Later, brother.
Bye.
Thanks for hanging out for another week. Be sure to check out punkboxrocks.com and merchslut.com. Check us out on all social media outlets at Our Brains Hurt and at ourbrainshurt.com. We will talk to you next week. Stay safe. Adios.
How do I do this shit? I can still hear you. So what do I have to press? Close.